Hi, this is Tweek. This is our second episode on our North Star Fleece Quilt Blanket. We're getting ready to put some of the panels together. Join us! Supplies you'll need for this project are: you will need fleece of your choice with yarn colors to match. Again, your choice. You will need a Fiskars 1/16 inch needle puncher. You'll need some fray check, a pair of scissors, and I used a size G crochet hook. So let's get started. This is the second part of our three-part series on how to make our North Star quilt blanket out of fleece, which meant finding the fleece colors I liked, cutting a bunch of triangles, taking those triangles and punching into them with a needle puncher so that I could crochet around each. And once I crocheted around each, I could take them and put them into square patterns. And then I used those squares to create panels that I hitched together to make my North Star pattern. And there it is. This is one of the completed panels. Well, I say that because I'm always adding to it. So I got this far on this one here and wanted to show you. I had hooked these panels together with white. And then I wanted to bring in some green. So I went around the whole thing in green. Then I added some blue, and I'm going to outline it with white. So when I put all my panels together, they will be outlined in the white yarn. So let me show you quickly how long it might take to do that. We're using the same stitch in all these patterns, from the triangles through the squares to hooking them together. I'm using a very simple single crochet stitch. So what I do is I find the corner of my panel. Isn't that pretty with just the blue on the outline? And I'm going to take my white yarn, off-white yarn, and my size G crochet hook, and I'm going to come into that corner that I left there and bring the yarn through and make a simple knot. And I've showed you all this in the first episode. And in the third episode, hopefully I'll have enough of the panels made to put the whole thing together. Today I've got 3 of them. I'm ready to go. I've got 1 loop on the hook. Okay, now I'm going to go through the hole, bring it up, bring through. I've got 2 stitches there on a corner. I want to add 2 spaces before I add another 2 stitches. 1, 2. As I go, I'm hiding the tail, the 2 little tails of yarn that were there when I made the knot. And then all I'm going to do is follow the chain. You see this little chain that goes along the edge? And I'm just going to follow that all the way around the whole piece. With the same simple stitch, you have a loop on the hook, you go underneath that chain, bring the yarn back, and pull the yarn through those 2, and you're back loaded to go to the next. And you're back loaded to go to the next. So you're adding 1 more line. Now I'm going to go ahead and snip off the extra here, those 2 little tails, and they disappear. There we go. So let's see how long it takes me to go around. These squares are 6 by 6 inch squares, and there's 4 of them, times 4. So let's see how long it takes us to get around 1 time, and here I go. Each time I add a color to this, it just makes it more special to me. I just love the way the colors are coming together. Okay, we're coming to the last few stitches. It's taken me about under a half hour, so closer to 25 minutes to go once around the edge of this panel. 2 or 3 more stitches. 1, 2, 3. And I usually pop back into where I started, but this time I'm just going to hook them up at the corner. Scissors, knot, another panel done. Let's see what it looks like. Isn't that pretty? So these panels are all complementary colors. Each North Star is a little bit different. See, this one has some darker blues, that has some lighter. And the third panel has even lighter. See how they're all going to go together? Next thing to do is, I'm planning on making 9 of these panels. We'll see if the fabric holds out for that plan. In the meantime, let's hook 2 of these panels together and I'll show you how that's done. It's just a larger version of hooking the triangles and the squares together. You just have a larger square. So let's see. I want this one to be in the middle. I don't know why. So let's just put this one and this one together. Now, where are my 2 ends? There's one there. Look for that. This is the front side. And take the next panel. Look for that little edge. I like to put the knots together, so I only have 1 knot to worry about. Now that's the wrong side, that's the right side. I'm putting the 2 right sides together. And I'm going to stitch up one side, starting with where the little knot is. And as I go, I'm going to be mindful of the space square to square. Okay, 4 squares. And I'll match up the stitches as I go. And if I need to adjust, that's when I'll do it. But that's your focus, to go between the squares. And that will line them all up when we're done. Let's do that. White yarn again, I'm using to hook them all together. So you've got your 2 edges, right? I'm going to make sure we get the outside edges on the outside. All right. So I'm going to go through the 2 corners and bring the yarn through. Again, we're going to use the same stitch. You could get fancier and use different stitches if you want, but I'm using the same stitch so I get the same width in each color. Just how I'm doing this one. Okay, got a nice knot. So now, when I come through later, I can attach these knots and put some fray checks so that they will not come apart. They will bind. So here we go. There's my, this much here. I'm going to focus on square to square. Got my yarn ready. Okay. I'm going to go back into that space I just knotted and bring the yarn through. First knot. We've got the loop on the hook, and I'm kind of feeling my way. There's a little bit of a clog here of yarn, but I'm just going to kind of make my way through so I get through both pieces. Let's wiggle my hook through. See? Just wiggle through, pull up. Got it. And then we're going to go through each little chain on each side. Just being mindful of the spacing. Let's see, once I can get to a regular chain that I can see. Right now they're kind of bundled up on the corner. Okay, so now I'm going to follow the chains, one on each side. See that? Chain on this side, a chain on this side. I'm going to check here every few stitches. I make sure I check because I don't want to get any bumps. I want it to be as smooth as possible. So here's what you're doing. You're hooking them together. And that's what it looks like. See? Isn't that pretty? Wow, I'm really liking this. So I'm trying to get this situated. It's kind of a lot of blanket here. There's space to space. And I'm checking to make sure that these line up as best as they can, best as I can get them. And then we'll continue. I'm going to go all the way down, just being mindful of the chains. So I've been watching as I go every few stitches, make sure I'm lined up, and you just adjust as you go. I've got a few more here. Okay, so I'm at the corner, so I'm going to go through the corner, bring through, oops, snip, pull that through. There's my knot. Let's see what the two of these look like. Oh, it's gonna be, oh, you get the idea of when these guys get hooked together. It'll have a pattern with the limey gold yellowy color. I've got many more panels to do, but that's what we'll do. We'll make a panel, attach it. Wow, this is gonna be big. So if you like what you've seen here today, give us a like, subscribe to our channel, and ring the bell so you know when another episode is coming along. Until then, keep at it. Make your panels. We're gonna add many more to finish our blanket. See you again.